You are watching Access LaPorte County, Channel 97. Coming up next is the September 7th, 2022 meeting of the Michigan City Tree Board. You can find more information for this meeting by visiting www.accesslaportecounty.org.
It is time, so I would like to call to order the Wednesday, September 7th, 2022 meeting of the Michigan City Tree Board. Roll call, please, Madam Secretary.
Laura Henderson, here. James Mellowitz.
Here.
Mary Murphy, here. Paul Przyblinski, not here. Tim Warner.
Present.
Talia Tsigas. Present.
We have a quorum. All right, first item on the agenda, approval of the minutes. Has everyone had a chance to look over the minutes of our last August 3rd, 2022 meeting? Any comments on the meeting minutes? Have you had a chance to look at them, Jim?
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, I'm only going to ask a question now, but that is, under communications, received a letter and it was sent out to everyone. We'll post on Facebook about available trees. Was that about, we can go over, people could go over to get bald cypress, or, and there's one other kind at
I
Beachside?
think that was what for the
Good,
remaining
okay.
tree. Yeah,
I did that then,
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Otherwise, I
Yeah,
just want
no,
to.
that was for the remaining
Super.
trees that were still at Beachside that Laura Koch has available to anyone.
Great.
And I don't know if there's any left now. I haven't talked to her. So. All right, so we'll approve the minutes as presented. Thank you. Item 4 on our agenda, Secretary Treasurer's report and claims for August.
I move for approval.
Have a second.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Minutes, budget approval passes, thank you. Communications, do we have any communications?
That's what I recall.
No communications, so we'll move on to committee reports. Laura, do you have any committee report information you want to present?
Let's see. So this was new recently. Invasive spotted lanternfly now in northern Indiana.
Yeah, that's bad.
Yeah, so this is bad. So I apologize for my printer. It's semi-legible.
Thank you.
Yeah, I understand that they are now being found in the southern part of the state.
Well, they were found in Switzerland County on the Ohio River, maybe last year. But now they've been found in Huntington County, which is close to Huntington.
Yes, that is.
There's an extra one back to you, Laura.
That's actually Wolf,
Wow.
but in the middle of the
Yeah, that's moving very quickly. Just 1 year after it was sighted in Switzerland County.
Yeah.
I saw a video on YouTube this week of a guy that had a milk jug that he cut the opening a little bigger, and he was walking up to the trees and catching all these lanternflies that are climbing up the bark of his trees and getting rid of them that way. So it's like, man, if that's how you have to do it, it's going to be a tough fight.
Yeah. Look, I'm often out in the woods. I have not seen any.
Well, I haven't
Fortunately,
seen
I haven't
any.
either. Yeah. But it
That
sounds
doesn't mean
like.
they're not there.
Correct.
Indeed,
Correct.
indeed. All
But
right.
I did see something where somebody took, like they made a funnel out of mesh and put it into basically two milk jug tops fit together like this. So they go in here, there's a plastic bag here, fill a plastic bag, dump it.
But beware of the spotted lanternfly.
Indeed,
Yes.
indeed.
And the trick for their favorite host is the tree of heaven, otherwise known as Ailanthus.
It'd be great if we could
Which-
get rid of that.
Yeah, let them eat
see-
that as long as they don't
See, the thing
reproduce.
is to use them to attract them all and then use a systemic insecticide on it. which I wouldn't use systemic insecticide on anything else,
Yeah.
but that's an invasive tree.
Yep.
Oh,
So
yeah.
it's not gonna have insects anyway.
But don't they also attack fruit trees and things like that?
Yeah, they attack a lot of things. But that's their favorite.
Yeah.
A pest to a pest.
Yes.
All right, any other committee reports?
I'm sorry, just to tag onto that.
Please.
And I did see that you put a Facebook article on
Yeah.
the spotted lanternfly on
Yeah.
the
Actually, two.
tree board page, which is great. Thanks.
All right, now I'll ask again, any other committee reports? Hearing none, old business, forest arborist job. We did have an interview with a candidate. During that interview, the candidate told us that he was basically leaving the country for a while. So we're back to square one.
semester.
Yeah, for
Not
one
available
semester,
for a
but-
year and a half, basically.
Right, basically.
A year and a half?
Yeah,
That's not how I understood it, but that might be right.
that's pretty much what it is. Yeah,
A year.
a year anyway.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I thought it was May next
Yeah.
year.
Still have to look.
Yep,
Yeah,
so we will
I'll have to
continue
look
looking. I know that we have not gotten any recent candidates, so I did not hear back from the mayor's office today whether we have received anything early this week, but with the holiday, I doubted anything was gonna come through over the weekend and through the holiday, so we'll keep on and see anything that anybody can do, anything you think of. I know, James, you mentioned your recent discussion with group down in Indianapolis that might have some possibilities, so hopefully you'll hear something
Actually, it was in
in
Bloomington,
Bloomington.
Good.
and I was spreading the word, so
All right,
I haven't heard from anybody.
we all need to continue and hopefully we can find somebody, so we'll keep doing. Farmers market table, we did a farmers market table last month, and this is the last month for the farmers market, so I assume either this coming Saturday or the following Saturday we'll do it. I am now busy this Saturday coming up. My nephew from Seattle is coming in with his family and staying with us, so I won't be available this coming Saturday. But if it works out for everybody else to do it this coming Saturday, and we'll do it, or the following Saturday, what's anyone's desired?
Booked this Saturday and then I'm going to Italy.
That's nice.
So you'll call into the farmers market on
Yes,
Zoom or something?
absolutely, 2 a.m.
So yeah, I mean, if we want to look at our calendars and see what anyone prefers, I mean, if it works out that we just won't make it for October, we won't make it for October, but
Oh, I
this
can
is
do,
our
I
last
should be able
chance.
to do October, but not September.
So,
We have a few seedlings put aside because I'm weeding and I
Yeah.
see them, so yeah, I'm getting ready.
well, if it doesn't work for was the 10th, how's the 18th sound or
Would
17th
be
sound
on
for
that
everybody?
the 9th.
9th.
I'll be in Ireland.
Oh, wonderful.
8-9 is Friday, so Saturday would be the 10th, yeah.
Oh.
So the 10th was out, 17th. Is anybody bad for the 17th? Besides our European traveler?
Are you available the 17th?
Not so much. I have a 1 p.m. dentist in Oak Park, so
Oh.
in Illinois. So yeah, like up to maybe 11.
11 or something, yeah.
Yeah.
Mary Nell, how are you on
I could do
the
that,
17th?
yeah.
All right, and Jim, you're not gonna be around?
I won't be around. I
Okay.
will be
So
drinking beer in Galway, I think.
I'm very, very sorry to hear
I
that
will
too.
go.
That's
I
another
would tell you,
European traveler.
I went to Ireland for a couple weeks and I stayed for a year, so I'm just gonna warn you. We'll talk after the meeting.
Right.
Always nice.
All right, well, let's just plan on the 17th
So
at
what time? Like
8
9?
o'clock. 8 o'clock,
8
and
o'clock?
for you, 8 o'clock till 11, and Mary and I will be there till noon, 8 to noon on the 17th. And that'll take care of September, and then we'll work on our last month of October after this. Okay, farmer's market.
So we're just gonna bring our documents, or,
Yeah, the same, pretty much the same we had.
and I'll bring some seedlings that I have.
Where-
Apples, tomato.
The logo, well, you have that,
I've got that.
I don't have it.
and the
I
flag
have the
will,
rolling and the flag, yep, so
Okay.
I'll bring that along.
great.
I think I'll need to buy a new table. My table had at this last trip to the farmer's market, this,
I have a long table, like this length, that I can bring. I'm gonna make myself a note to do that.
if you can't easily get it, fine, if I can get
I
it with
can.
my truck if
Yeah.
needed, okay. Yeah, if you could bring that a little before 8, then we
Will
can
do.
set up. Yeah, the top of my table fell off, so
I got
Okay.
a couple of
handouts.
suggestions for handing out at the farmer's markets.
Yeah, we had the spongy moth one, I think, right? Before.
Yeah, so we may still have more copies. The thing is, all of that stuff will be actionable before we're back,
Yeah.
which will be in May, except for October.
So we can
Okay.
use some of our budget to make some copies though, right?
Yes, we can.
Go to Beecher or something and have them. make some
Yes,
nice
I would make a
copies or
copy
make a
and then
pamphlet
give
or
the
whatever.
bill to Carrie Bailey. And
Okay,
she'll do the
excellent.
submission. Yeah.
Dahlia, can you do that? I'll give you these to make the copies of, and you can
Alright.
bring them to the meeting on, or the
Yeah,
farmer's
how
market
many
on,
would you like?
probably no more than
30?
10, no, not
Oh.
10. I mean, I had 20 copies of things last time and we only gave out like 4 or 5.
Oh.
There weren't a lot that went, I still have a lot left.
About 15, and then we'll have
Yeah.
some for later.
Okay.
I think, like, if we're gonna go, just make them and then these won't go bad, right?
Right.
Right.
I'd say 20 sounds
Okay.
okay. Because we
Okay.
might have more interest, who knows? People
Yeah.
are expecting us now, right?
And then we'll have for the next farmer's market.
Yep, for
Yes.
October, yeah. Thank you.
Sure.
Thanks.
Okay, that, I think, takes us to any other old business? Any other old business? Old business, hearing none, we'll move to new business. Any new business?
Oh, what about grants? We need to talk about the grants and all that stuff.
Let's talk grants and stuff.
Okay.
So go ahead, what have you got to,
Well-
you got any
I have questions.
quick questions are
I
good,
talked a
questions
little
are
bit about
good,
it.
good beginning.
So we haven't been able to talk to anybody about if the city has a truck that we can use.
I have not. And
Okay.
what I'm gonna do for our pickup anyway is, once I find out what size it is, once we get the trees and I understand what size it is, I'll see if I'm gonna be able to do it myself with my pickup or if I'm gonna need some assistance. And Clay Putnam had indicated that he would be able to possibly use Servicescape vehicle to
Oh, that's
get
great.
some
That would
for
be
us.
awesome.
That was what he mentioned quite a while ago. Once I find out what they are, I'll give him a call and say, hey Clay, it looks like my truck isn't going to be capable of getting all of them. Will you have somebody available on the 29th or whatever day they tell us at the NERC workshop that I can get them and see if he's available? We'll take it from there. If not, another option is talking to Woodruff & Sons. I know their estimator and things over at Woodruff & Sons, they have a lot of trucks. Perhaps I can get one from Bruce Woodruff to go and use for the day to get there too. So there's some options beyond the city that these people want to provide some kind of assistance, community service and that. So I think they'd be willing to do that. So that'll be my chore in the next few days before the 29th to figure out the option of picking up these trees and getting them in.
Do we still have Clay, is he still willing to have this
That I have to find out too, since
hole digger?
he's got,
He
since,
said so at the last
yeah,
meeting.
since he's missing a lot of staff workers, it may be difficult, but he said he would be willing to do that. So I will follow up with him once I know how many trees we're going to get, the species we're going to get, when we're going to get them, how big they are, and if he can do it. So, and once I get that information, I'll report back to everybody that there's what we.
You said earlier that you have a list of where the trees will be going, we have a list of people who want them.
Yes.
So we're good.
I'm trying to remember. I think our first farmers market, we had 17 people sign up. I
I
think
think it was 14.
was it 14? And I know we had 7 or 8 more people sign up at the
But
last
we don't
farmers
know
market.
how many trees each
Each one
person
wants,
wants
right.
or what their preferences are.
Yeah.
But we
And
should
it-
be able to get all 25 taken.
Yes, I think so.
And
Certainly, yeah.
we've got Elston
Yep.
and
What about planters? That was my other question, is do we have enough people lined up to put them in the ground?
Theoretical planting day would be the 1st of October, is that what you're thinking? That Saturday?
Probably yes.
Is that a Saturday?
Yes.
Okay.
And
Okay.
I would recommend maybe, I mean, do you have emails for everybody for the trees?
Yes, yeah, we asked for emails from everybody
That's
when they
excellent. So you
sign
can say,
up. yeah.
hey, thanks for, signing up,
Yeah.
and is anyone available to help plant?
That's my intent, is once I get the
Right.
word of what trees we're getting, is to contact them. I got their phone numbers and emails, so.
Also, last year's people, maybe they'd be interested in helping. I mean, just saying, like, there was a lot of goodwill last time that
We
this,
did
so-
have 2 people at the farmer's market who said they were willing to volunteer to plant trees.
Great.
They were apartment dwellers, both of them, so they didn't have a place to put them, but they were very interested in increasing the tree cover in Michigan City and were willing to be tree diggers.
What about tools, shovels and such?
If Clay comes, he will be able to provide shovels and that. If not, I've got several shovels. I'm sure I can get more from my dad and more from my sister and things, so we'll have tools available.
Very good.
You can only get so many shovels in one hole anyway.
Yeah, let's ask people what time on Saturday, October 1st, they're available, not if.
No, we're gonna tell them what.
Well, not,
around when.
are you available?
Yeah,
What
I mean,
what
we're
time
gonna
slot
start
can I put you down
Probably, what,
for?
8 o'clock?
8 o'clock in the morning is, yeah,
No, we can't, we
Eight
can't
to-
predict. How are we gonna predict that? No.
yeah.
No, you can't predict it.
Yeah. Yeah,
There's a lot of glitches. And then we had a watering truck last year from the streets
Oh.
department, didn't we?
I think followed on a Saturday.
Yeah, they followed us and they watered all the trees.
That's great.
We gotta
This is
figure out where
exciting.
that came from.
Okay. I will talk to the mayor about getting that lined up
Super,
again.
that would be great.
That was really helpful. Yeah, the timing is really hard to predict. You just tell them we're coming between 8 and 2 or something.
Yeah,
Like
and
a
if
cable
it's-
guy.
It's certainly, that'll be the one day that it pours rain all day, so.
Oh, then we don't have to worry about
We'll
watering.
I don't think I'm gonna stand out there in the rain and lightning and that for planting trees.
The
So
lightning is off.
it might
Yeah,
move,
yeah,
might
yeah.
move to the next day, so
Yeah.
we'll weather dependent for the,
Of course.
Well, question with that, do you want me to communicate back to the Girl Scouts about saying that we can get them one of the trees? 1 or 2? I mean, it's up at Elston, so there might be more than that that's needed.
you can communicate with them if there's availability, yes.
Okay.
I'll know that it's not a for sure thing.
Okay.
Okay,
Will do.
thank you. All right. Any other grant questions, comments, known grants that we might want to discuss going forward? Any? No, and someone wants to give me spam, so okay.
It's not a grant coming in, darn it?
It could be, I just, it's right now, we'll get back to it later after.
AI heard you talking.
Yeah, that's right. Talking about grants, and I just wanted to give you a call and say, hey, there's an application you guys can go for. Okay. Any other new business?
I have a question. Does anyone know of what city agency or department that may be hiring private contractors to do tree work at this point?
Probably central
Social
services.
services.
Central Services, okay.
Yeah, they will do all tree removals, trimmings and things that are larger than they're able to
I
handle.
was asked by a tree contractor today
Okay.
about that, and so I wanted to give them some
Yeah,
information.
I think, Dolly, would that have to go through the mayor's office as far as registration with the city first, though?
Yeah, I believe we have a list of permitted,
Right.
people who have
Yeah.
a permit.
So they would have to get on the list of approved contractors?
Yes.
And that's, I think, through the mayor's office. I can contact the mayor's office and get on that list for approved contractors
Okay.
for doing that. And then, I don't know if city services goes through, if they've got 5 guys, if they just go, okay, you're next, you're next, you're next, you're next, and then cycle through, or how they do it.
I'm
But,
not sure either.
yes, but he needs to get on the list as an approved contractor first.
Okay,
Okay?
pass the word.
Did I missed on old business, I'm sorry.
No, that's all right.
So back to the Tree City designation maintenance and the signage. So I know you've been wanting to have an update on the Bird Town signs.
Yes,
Probably
sure,
why you
I'm
all
sorry.
came, tonight. So that's advancing. The bad news is I know nothing more about the Tree City signs, where they are, or if they could go up. However, I did bring a couple of signs into the city clerk, and so provided them
It's
to
gonna be like in their eyes, and so they'll maybe, yeah.
right.
I think we do have to go back to vector control or whatever and see if they have them.
If they
That's
have
where
them.
they were.
You wanna talk after the meeting about how we do that?
We were gonna
Yeah.
try to do that, we'll try to do that
Right,
again.
right.
Okay.
I had a walkthrough with our designer on the NDOT US 12 resurfacing this past week on from Mount Baldy to the state line, and starting there at Beverly Shores at the Porter County line, I see Beverly Shores has their Tree City sign up right there along Beverly Drive
Yes.
as you enter the city, and I thought ours should be right there too, coming in on the other
Actually,
side of the
yes,
road.
I should have
Yeah.
brought a copy, but when I brought in the Birdtown signs, I suggested that we put the Birdtown sign, one of them, somewhere between Mount Baldy and the outlet malls,
Mm-hmm.
you know. And then the other, as you go into Washington Park, or anywhere in Washington Park, were my suggestions for the Birdtown signs. And then I said, when the
And
Tree City
sign.
signs get located, they could even go on the same, pole.
And this would be a pretty good opportunity to have that included in the signage plans that NDOT will be doing for replacement of the retroreflective signs all on the route. So if we get that information together, we can get it to Lawson Fisher, who's doing the design of that.
Now, what kind of
Improvement.
information do I need to get to you?
Just the size of the signs and that they'll be able to mount on a breakaway signpost like all the rest along the state route.
So how many bike lanes are you putting in? Are you putting one in? Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
There will be a bike extension here. I guess I can say this now. From
They don't have to, they
Yeah.
don't have to breach
No.
the rules, but.
from the South Shore tracks where the trail crosses 12. Basically, US 12 will be 3 lanes in that section from the county line all the way into Michigan City's downtown where it opened to 4 again. The one additional lane is now going to be a trail from the crossover to Mount Baldy. So that first lane will be a 7-foot trail with a divider in it, and then the 3 lanes are shifting over. So it'll be a center left turn lane for that way, and then a through lane in each direction on 12. So basically, the 2 lanes coming up County Line Road will continue as 2 lanes. There'll just be a middle lane and then a bike trail at the very north side. So we're not sure yet if we need to widen the pavement on the north side into Mount Baldy a little bit to get the full 10-foot width for the bike trail, or if we can fit it. And
It's progress.
yeah,
Is that pretty much parallel to the existing bike trail?
the
That's
bike
off the road?
the bike trail right now is on the north side, and then when it gets to the NIPSCO high power line, basically it crosses over 12 and continues south that way until it comes back across 12 again down by the parking lot down there. So this piece is just going to continue on 12 now, the geometry over to the Mount Baldy Drive, so cyclists can get into Mount Baldy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And you're not talking about the other county line going to Michigan, right?
No, this.
Where are you resurfacing exactly?
The project is from Porter County to Michigan State Line.
Okay.
Yeah, that first contract,
Those
and then
lanes are not.
two years from that period will be extension through Pines, town of Pines, going back towards the national park and state park. I'm not sure what the terminus is going west, but that'll be the next
If you
section.
have driven down there, you know that when you enter the state of Michigan, it's smooth as silk because they just.
Yeah, they just did it.
And ours is just.
Yeah, they just did it. So it's coming, and it's interesting because both states have been looking at what's termed right sizing the roadway, because right now having 4 lanes is really more than what's needed, and 12 between New Buffalo and Michigan City. Michigan had tried a couple of years ago just striping it that way and see how it would work, and Indiana then said, okay, we're going to look at doing that too, and then Michigan restriped it as 4 lanes, so Indiana is going to try to match that. But part of the work is going to be kind of a reconfiguring of the 212 interchange there, because that's a kind of a.
Is that going to be a
mess.
roundabout?
I would like to see it a roundabout, a bigger roundabout than the little roundabouts you see, but I think it's going to be probably 12 will be just through, and then 212 will be more of a
Stop.
controlled intersection rather than all the weird ramps and everything. Lawson Fisher hasn't really started working on that yet, the designer, but it'll go through some permutations, and I think ultimately it would make sense to be a roundabout for the 3 legs. so that there's no impacts, we found that Indiana, or State Road 2 and 20, that interchange out past LaPorte, that there's been no injuries at that interchange since that was done as the Dogbone Roundabout. We were having several fatalities there prior. So, yeah, they do work on what they're supposed to do. It just takes a little getting used to.
Right.
I love them. Personally, I love them. So,
They are safe.
yeah.
Are there more fender benders?
I don't think so, actually. But it's interesting that
Close.
you talk about fender benders, because as you come from LaPorte and to continue on to that first ramp, as it just comes around the corner and heads back to South Bend, one of the light fixtures there has been hit 4 times. So we're trying to figure out if they need to reconfigure the geometry there a little bit. So
Do people get hurt when they hit that?
no, because it's
You're
just
not
a
going fast
breakaway. No, they're pretty slow, but it's.
We had a Birdtown sign right there, that would cause people to slow down.
Well, we got to talk to the county there about that.
Carmel, they have like artwork in all their roundabouts,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
So we can start putting our signs up at least. At
They're getting
starts.
known internationally for their roundabouts.
Yes.
There are a lot of
They-
roundabouts.
oh my gosh.
I can-
Yeah, I don't know how many. They probably have 5 regular intersections left now. There, everything is
I
pretty
think
much.
they have the highest concentration of roundabouts
They do
in the
anywhere.
country.
Yeah.
Almost
Certainly
probably
does.
right behind.
Successfully.
Yeah.
All right, okay.
Okay. Any other new business? New business? Hearing none, we'll move on to comments from board members. Dahlia, we'll start with you and work our way around.
I don't have any comments. I'm just hoping that we can get the word out for our arborists. I do have it on my webpage. If you see, we're looking for an arborist. All the job qualifications are up there. So if anybody wants to direct someone real quickly to my webpage, I have it.
Give us your address, web address again.
My first and last name, DALIAZYGAS. That's .com. That's it. My first and last name .com.
Okay. All right. Mary Nell, your turn.
Yes.
You have the floor.
There's a new LaPorte County Park coming, and there's going to be a grand opening on, well, it'd be so great if I had the day. It's,
21st, I know it's when I'm away.
I know I can't make it either. Is it 24th? Is that, oh, here, I've got, yeah, Saturday, September 24th. At 10 o'clock. But it's very exciting, it's.
Well, then it's good we're doing the farmer's market on the 17th. That's
Yeah,
we're not in
Put
conflict.
the word out.
Yeah.
And it's a very like low-key county park. There's just a unpaved trail that goes through, the woods, and it's be great for birding and botanizing, and it's about 40 acres, and it's across from the Wintergreen Woods. That is I don't think it's Shirley Hines, but it's some other
It's Save the
property.
Dunes.
Save the Dunes property. Yeah, so it's 925 north and 375 west.
What is the name of the new park?
Siebert Woods, S-E-B-E-R-T,
Very good.
Siebert Woods. So anyway, it's nice to have a new park, and there's going to be a grand opening, and that's a great idea. We'll bring information about the grand opening
Yes.
for the farmers market.
Would be good, yes.
And the other thing on
It's
the
925 north and what intersections?
yeah, 325. The address is 3608 west, 925 north.
Okay.
I like names of roads, but this will do with.
Well, being an
Numbers.
engineer, I like numbers.
Okay.
The mileage is easy to
Don't
keep
stick
track of.
Yes.
Like Orchid
Every 100 is
Trail.
another mile.
The other thing is I just put up on our Facebook page, I put an article on don't make a mulch volcano around your tree, and a link about that. And I will put on our Facebook page about the tree board going to the farmer's market for Saturday, September 17th.
Okay.
Do we want to choose October or not yet?
I think let's wait and,
Okay.
and see what's going on. I'm going to be I've got 1.5 to 2 weeks off in October sometime coming up, and I'm not sure what dates those are yet. We're heading down south and then heading out to Seattle, possibly see my sister, so we'll see if that happens.
Okay.
Is the forester position still on Indeed? Do you know?
I don't believe it is, because I think the city had a certain time period for a certain amount of money that they could run the ad, and I don't think it's on anymore, but I
I
will check
thought
with
it was
Chris.
the fact that there's 2 ways to put it on Indeed, one that you pay for and one that's not paid for, and I think it might be still
Still
on
on
a
there, okay.
non-paid kind.
I will
But,
check with
I
Chris.
believe HR, would be a
Yep.
place to check too.
Okay. I will check, but I know,
It's on the city website.
yeah, whatever they can do, they're doing, so I'll check if they still have it on Indeed. Okay,
That's all I
anything
have.
else? That's all? All right. Laura, anything?
Well, yeah, I meant to ask a question earlier and I forgot. Did you have a chance to check about how much it would cost to boost our,
I did look into that, and it's very vague, like it's, here's $5 off on an unknown quantity, and it's like, it would provide information to people in our area, but not necessarily like foresters or anyone interested, it's just regionally, so it did not look worthwhile. And then it's like, do I put my credit card on here to give this, and
Yeah, $5 off 10 is a good deal compared to $5 off 500. right?
correct.
Yeah,
And then it won't tell you how much it is until after
After
they
you do all
see
the
how
thing,
many
yeah.
people they reach. So you don't even know as
I
you're
would not want to give
signing up.
Facebook my credit card. Just
Yeah.
No, I don't want to give my personal credit card for that. And I think this is kind of a last resort of how we would find people. I think having these professional
Organizations.
is a much better way. Yeah.
Yes, yes.
if they
I
would
agree.
produce somebody?
But yeah, I did look at that.
Okay.
Anything else, Laura?
I don't think so.
All right, well, I have no particular comments, so
I have a question.
James?
Are there any other job posting sites, help wanted sites, that we should consider posting the job opening on? I mean, Indeed can't be the only game in town, but I am completely unaware of what's going on out there in that world.
No, I did reach out to University of Wisconsin, and I reached someone, and they said they would, put that on the site. But they also suggested, which I didn't do, and I will now, reach out specifically to University of Wisconsin's forestry department. So I'll do that.
That's a great idea.
Yeah,
That's a great idea.
But it did reach, a general College of Ag and Life Sciences career placement.
But my question was more like, Indeed is a service that posts job listings, okay? Aren't there other
there are other
services
job
that,
posting
particularly for government jobs that post government
Right,
jobs? Say you want to work in government and forestry, there must be services like that. I guess I'm asking whether you guys know.
You're a headhunter.
I have had to use them so seldom that I'm not that familiar with them, so.
Like, how does a highway department hire?
Highway department just advertises in the state. I mean, so it's a state board that all state jobs are posted on. It's just, I think just in.gov, work for Indiana, and then you'll find every, organization within the state, and then the listing of we have 42 positions right now advertised on that for LaPorte District alone. So I don't know how many thousands of jobs are available within the state, just the state alone, but I know just our district for NDOT has 42 positions open.
Mm-hmm.
So multiply that by 6 districts with NDOT, central office, another one, and then all the other departments within the state, and there's gotta be thousands and thousands of jobs
Right.
to fish through to find what you're looking for. So yeah, that's just basically in.gov for jobs. And then it takes you to all the different departments.
So that's state jobs.
That's state jobs.
And then, of course, the city has its on its own website.
Yeah,
but
every
the
city's
reach
the
of
same,
the
yeah.
city of Michigan City is limited,
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
In the engineering profession, it's basically engineering organizations, like ASC would have their site. Public Works public works departments all have public works, and all of their positions for public works positions are all in the magazine and everything on their website. So that's a lot of professionals find, just like we're talking about with arborists or arborist organizations. That's where most of them would look for the positions that relate to
And
their
we've
field.
already put it out there for
We
those
have, yeah.
organizations.
And are they still active, or is it
Uh,
go off after a while?
I would imagine there's probably a given 30 days or 60 days or something. So,
Maybe we need to re-up that.
yep.
I'm sorry, after this discussion, I have one more comment I forgot to make under committee reports again.
Okay. James, anything
I'm
else?
done, no.
Okay.
All right.
I just
we'll
was
go
gonna
back to-
say, August 11, Dahlia and I went to to City Hall for the budget meeting, and our tree board budget was approved. I don't remember if that got communicated through an email afterwards or not.
I
but-
saw something that.
Okay, all
Is the
right.
budget different than it was this
No,
past year?
no,
No.
Is there money for trees, planting trees?
no.
Well, I think they're not being a forester kind of,
That
Yeah.
does, yeah.
but I think they were glad that people showed up from the
That just
committee.
means it's gonna stay as is when the city council votes on the budget.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's not 100% yet, because it's not voted on.
Yeah, just through the committee. Yep, budget committee.
Okay.
Okay. Any other comments from any board members?
I am Googling job opening for urban forester
There you go.
to see what I find.
What shows up?
Davy Resource Group is looking for me. Okay.
There you go. Davy Tree, the tree butchers, right?
Something called Jobs
Careful.
Bear. Hundreds
Okay.
of urban forestry jobs for immediate start. Oh, great.
There you go. Hundreds. Go through and see what you can find real quick. All right. And we'll move on to comments from the public. We do have public here this evening. Please introduce yourself, give us your name and address, and let us know what you have for us.
I don't hear very well.
You have the floor. Where do you live and what's your
I
name?
hesitate once in a while when you get caught, so if you have patience, I'll get things going. I've been here 20 years, so I'm an old timer. I know what the hell's going on,
I'm sorry, what's your name?
But we won't get into that. One situation dealing with this group, I
First thing, I want to just make sure for the record that we get your name and your address, okay? So if you can tell us your name and address and then let us know what you have for us.
Okay.
Thank you.
My name is Ron Falloon, F-A-L-O-O-N. And I live at 139 Shorewood Drive. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
And what else?
It's good, yeah.
Yep, that's good. Yep.
Okay. So, my first experience with this group, I was coming home from vacation and to my house, and I looked up and the trees had been butchered. And it happened to be the railroad system. Here's the picture. This is 10. These aren't shots, but that's the bad one. So they're hanging there now, and then they're 15 years, and they're going to kill someone. I came back a little while dealing with this group because I don't know what you do and how far you go along with doing these things. But you can see in those, all of it. When I came around the corner getting home, I said, oh my God. Look up, and they cropped the oak trees. And I said, those are gonna die. And what the hell they did, and they're gonna do something else. Anyway, you get back to the other story.
Why those are trimmed that way? There's no power line.
In the group
It's great.
that I told to take some action on it. And They didn't. I went back 3 times and they didn't get a hold of them. They says, oh, we don't have a good life with them. We don't live with them. So
Which
they know-
railroad was it? Which railroad
Is
is
it
it?
Amtrak or South Shore, or do you know what railroad? What railroad?
So,
What railroad is it?
oh,
Is it Amtrak?
Huh?
Is it the Amtrak tracks or South Shore or one freight line? Who did the trimming?
this is the railroad.
Yeah, whose railroad?
It's just railroad.
Okay, so it must be Amtrak,
Probably.
probably, yeah.
But they never gave them the, notice to get those trees down. They're there, then, I sent, gave them these again 2 weeks ago.
Who did you,
And,
who did you give them to?
Did you say
Chris
Chris?
said he sent these pictures to them, so we'll see what the hell happened.
Chris and to who?
But anyway, I wanted to know, I don't know how far you go, if in fact someone come on the lawn and say, you have to cut this tree down. You're gonna decapitate someone. And take some action if they don't. And do you people take any, what is the extent you let a tree live on the line and have it look like these? Does anybody go around talking people and take some action?
Is this train property?
I believe it's adjacent to the Amtrak tracks is where he's talking about, so we really have no control over Amtrak. They're much more concerned about safety of the passengers on their train than anything, and not necessarily the life of the tree when they're done.
There's
Or the life of people
People.
down there.
1,000 trees probably around this place. Christ, why don't I
Yeah, I
have a time and say, I just cut one in I had 2 years on it, but someone, why, you're gonna try to present a good
face
view to people you try to get them in it. This is the houses and that are wrecks. One, up at the railroad station, one house there's been there 20 years. And an idiot, or not he's an idiot, he's now renting it out. And the windows are broken, and they've been broken for,
years.
and nobody's been around and say, look, Charlie, get rid of it. We're gonna get someone to tear your damn houses. And on the way down, the telephone company, when they discarded one session, one trip of an operation that they haven't, all the units are sitting in the space between, on the road. They're all, there's 3 miles of junk.
Well,
Nothing.
I will say from a tree standpoint, one of the issues that Michigan City and the tree board is having right now, we do not have an arborist working for the city right now. Generally what would happen is if there's any tree trimming that's going on by any agency within the city, our arborist would hopefully be able to go observe what's going on and make sure that they're following guidelines for the safe trimming of trees and that, and not just leaving something lobbed off and that's going to die soon. So
Do you have,
we're working on that. We don't have direct control for that as a board. We don't have control, but hopefully as soon as we get an arborist on board, that arborist will be able to help guide the railroad tree trimmers, the NIPSCO tree trimmers, other utilities and that, to follow the policies that we have within the city for care and nurturing of our trees, and making sure that it's safe electrically speaking, making sure it's safe passenger rail and passenger cars. So that's basically what our arborist, when we get one again, is going to be doing. But unfortunately, we haven't had one for over a year and a half, and we're working on trying to fill that position. As soon as we do, things are happening now just because we don't have that position full.
Why doesn't the city put on a tree operation, set it up, and give people...
You might want to check with Central Services.
What's that?
You might want to check with Central Services.
I'm sorry.
There's a department in the city called Central Services. You might want to check with them.
No, I'll put it down. Yeah.
Well, right now.
I just want to know what, unless you do something, you're not going to get people in here. I don't think. Going down 12, some of those places have been there 15 years and stuff. And what the hell's it? They're paying taxes, I suppose they are.
I would guess, yeah.
They're also not doing it. Any
City Hall.
anything to get rid of it.
Yeah, a lot of that seems more like a requirement of the building department to follow up on trash and things. It sounds like he's talking about in
Central
Central
Services.
Service.
that's the city Central Services
What do
Department.
they do?
They do all the tree trimmings and things that are smaller. They do basically all the cleanup work and patching of potholes and things like that within
So
the
you
city.
don't do any of this stuff?
No,
That's what I want.
yep, yep, that would be Central Services who would deal with things like that.
All right, good.
That's okay.
It's,
Yeah,
oh, Christ.
okay. Thank you for coming, and hopefully you can, that helps answer some of your questions.
When I got to the, that's the good news.
Yeah.
Central Service, who's in charge?
We should go.
Yeah, I don't,
What do they do? I don't think they do anything.
What's his name?
If they just called City Hall general number and
Yeah.
ask for Central Services.
Yeah, just-
They're not in City Hall.
No.
They're a separate building.
right, they're over,
But I mean, if you call the
west
City
side.
Hall number.
Harris. Is that his name?
A tree place that they'd be doing work on the tree. It would be their job. And
yeah. Well, Dahlia will see if she'll get you the number, and we'll get it to you after the meeting here. So if there's no other comments, yes.
I think our job is misadvertised.
Yeah.
I don't think we're looking for an arborist. I think we're looking for an urban forester. And yet the city, the listing on the city website says arborist. An arborist to my understanding, is a person who basically trims trees, who goes out there and decides we can make this tree healthier, that tree healthier, cuts limbs and does the things that are necessary to take care of individual trees. As I understand this position, is really more about planning the forest cover, the tree cover in the city, and
I
evaluating
would try
things
it.
also from sort of a macro city standpoint. And it's really more of an urban forester job.
position, yeah.
I think we
Didn't we
when
talk
we do a
about that?
search out there for
Yeah.
these things,
Yeah.
as I just did, I plug in arborist jobs, and they all come up as
Tree trimmers, basically.
tree trimmers,
Yeah.
exactly,
Yeah.
working for a tree contractor
Yeah.
company.
Yeah.
Those are not the people we want. We want, somebody up more up the food chain in terms of urban forestry. So I think that the job is mischaracterized.
It is mischaracterized, I think, but it's what we found in talking to the mayor's office and others is there seems to be the middle part, the urban part, we have a hard time
suggest
finding.
that they put
Foresters are people that work for the paper companies and that they're out there picking all the trees to be harvested for lumber, they're picking all the trees to be harvested for paper pulp and that.
Yeah.
And then the arborists are the ones that are working for the landscapers, trimming the trees and that. The urban forester is a very narrow location, it seems like, as far as jobs.
So I
that's-
punched in-
That's the issue we're
I
finding.
punched in urban forester jobs in Indiana. I came up with City of Noblesville is looking for an urban forester. State of Indiana is looking for an urban forester. I didn't see Michigan City mentioned.
Yeah, everybody's looking for urban foresters because they can't find them, because
Okay.
all the cities
It's
that have.
interesting.
We just have to
Yes.
put a tag on there, do you know what I'm saying?
What about talking to our, the AI department or the tech services department of the city? Like, how do we get our job listing to pop up on a
First
search?
above everybody, yeah.
To come up on a search? I mean,
That
I
requires
don't know
to be
this,
marked.
I have no clue, but there
Yeah, I
are
don't
ways to
To
tag,
improve your, right.
to put certain words and tags in the listing on the website so that when somebody does a search like this, it pulls them up.
And I think one of the other ways is this.
And that too.
I think that's where most people get their searches up at the top of the list, by paying their hosts more money. That's the issue. Yeah.
Talk to
Right.
Tatanisha. I don't know
Incidentally,
So,
if she could or would do that,
I don't know.
because I brought that up with
I
her.
guess the question is, should we change the title of the job?
I think we've
And if
asked
we
the
want to,
mayor.
if we decide to
We
do that,
tried
how
to.
do we go
Yeah,
about
we
doing it?
did try.
We try.
We might have to
Insisted
try
on the
again.
arborists.
Should we try? Should
Yeah.
do
We
it?
did.
Yeah.
We did request that of the mayor, but this is the title he wants to go with.
Yep.
On our Facebook page, I do have arborist / urban forester.
Yeah.
But that's because, it's our the tree board's
Yeah.
Facebook page, but the official listing is
It's
arborist.
arborist. And we did discuss trying to change it to forest.
And the mayor's office would not agree that.
They did not agree to that. Don't know why.
Nor did Tatanisha.
Right. So I can try to talk with the mayor again. and-
And we just put out one of those tags on, or, a meta tag that says, when someone searches that, it'll pop up, yeah.
Right.
But I don't think we have a marketing department, so,
Right.
The city doesn't.
No.
oh no.
All right.
Because I was told by also somebody who was in the business that if we described the job as an urban forester, we would get a better quality of applicant. There would be more interest in it. That people coming out of the universities would be more interested in that job than they would an arborist job, because an arborist job is perceived as being so limited and narrow and more of a tree contractor.
Can you, Jim, just send me an email indicating that in it, that I can forward on to the mayor's office, and just say, based on conversations that you've had, and I know Clay,
Yeah, I guess
Clay,
I'll
I
do
think,
that.
said the same thing, that it would turn out probably better if we had urban forester. So if you can forward that conversation to me in an email, I will have that email sent to the mayor and try to set up a meeting and just see if we can try to change our
Excellent.
description.
Excellent.
Okay?
Yeah,
All right.
absolutely. I'll do that.
All right, our next meeting is October 5th at 6:30 here at this location. Do I have a motion for adjournment?
I suppose.
Do I have a
Second.
second? All those in favor?
Aye.
All right.
We stand adjourned. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.